Hello. Oh, no.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. That's a beautiful morning.
You,
What do you think? I could make it on the big stage.
you sound like you could take over for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yes, I'm going to work on it. It's been my favorite show for years.
You
But
need-
this is the Bob and Brad
you need a
show with
sweater,
Mike, and we are talking about what are we talking about today, Mike?
We're talking about foot and ankle swelling issues. So we're going to give 20 different tips here. And if you have questions about foot or ankle issues, feel free to ask. If you have other questions on other subject matters, we apologize. We are not going to answer them today, but we do have literally thousands of videos on your problem. So you can search Bob and Brad and that issue, and you will find a very informative video on it. And we are also on the last few days of our pre-order for the new Bob and Brad Eye Master massage chair.
Oh, yeah.
You get a $500 discount if you sign up ahead of time before November 1st. Otherwise, then it's full price after that.
That's right. If you haven't been in a full massage chair, it's quite an experience. You could go to the local furniture store in your town, and they'll probably have one.
Only 20 spots left on pre-order. Ooh, they're
Oh,
filling
that's
up.
Right.
We do have a limited amount of numbers for pre-orders.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all right. I understand. Yeah, I'm very understanding. But yeah, go to a furniture store, get in one if they haven't, which they probably will, and experience it, and then see the quality and the price, and then compare it to ours and see what works out well. We like it. We've got numerous people testing it and had some upgrades on it, so that it was up to our satisfaction to sell with our name on it. So, ankle and foot swelling.
Yes, hello everyone joining in. Our intro song's coming in, so we better be quiet.
Whoa, 5 more, 3.
Then you'll see us.
2, 1.
Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hello, we're live, and they can see us.
There you go. It's always a wonderful day in Minnesota on Tuesdays at 10 a.m.
Hello, Kathleen and Brenda and Renee and Audrine, Diane.
It sounds like Romper Room again. You older people my age know exactly what I'm talking about.
Issue stuff, but when I was a kid, what's the one with the clown I always used to watch as a kid? What the heck was that show called?
Nobody cares about
it. Wasn't
that.
Bozo? What was his name? Tanner, you know who I'm talking about?
Oh.
The clown guy that was always on in the mornings in the kids' show. It was alive. Not Bozo. What was it? I can't remember. Anyway, I digress. Today, I'm getting a little off subject. If we are actually going to be talking about, I think before we get into it, the massage chair we are talking about. Danny, you want to pull up the footage of that so we can show it quick? That's right.
Yeah,
there.
bear with us on this.
So here is the massage chair we are coming out with. The pre-orders. It has some traction and stretching that can happen in the ankles.
And it does have foot massage included with it.
It has inflatable, what do you call those, bladders? Compression? I don't know the right term for that.
Yeah, it's for you get compression. That's part of the massage, and it does vary depending on what level you set it at.
It actually has 4D massage nodes, which I was like, what the heck is 4D? Because we live in a 3D world, but it actually comes out forward going into your muscles more versus just a normal massager, which is 3-dimensional. So it actually comes forward and really digs in there. You know, I thought it was kind of a funny idea, but once we got the chair, I was quite surprised on how relaxing it is.
Yeah, very, very positive responses on it. So anyways, I do want to get into the first thing of foot and ankle swelling. There is a warning if you have swelling with pitting edema. In other words, if you push on the skin for a few seconds and let go, and there's a dent that stays in your skin for 5 or 10 seconds, or if it is red, warm, or it is actually weeping, that's to the point where you need to see a doctor and get it assessed. Don't try some of these things. Get it done right. If you just have swelling that the color of the skin is fine, there's no warm temperature, no pain associated with it, it's just, why is the swelling? Can we get it down? These things you can do for that.
Do we actually want to go to the clip with Bob in it right away where you talk about some of this?
Yeah, actually, let's do that. We're going to talk about symptoms of an infection as well as DVT or deep vein thrombosis, because those are serious. Go ahead. Are we ready, Danny? Okay, we're going into it, and we're going to talk about that, Bob and I, in some detail. Now, this one, if there's infection from trauma or a wound, if you get some redness, some swelling, the big, the line going up the leg, if you
Yeah.
have a wound, these are all big problems or potentially big problems.
Is time to see the doctor now.
Right.
Not wait.
You're not going to wait and call
Yeah.
and wait 2 weeks for when they have an
Right.
opening. You're going to go, to urgent care probably. But get in there and make sure it's not a problem.
Yeah, infection can get out of control,
Right.
and really wreak havoc on your system.
So again,
So-
it's redness. Things are getting warm.
Right.
That does not happen.
And the swelling along with it.
Right.
And-
Yeah.
and-
That kind of stuff doesn't happen with
Right.
lymphedema or venous insufficiency.
Right.
There's something going on. Your body's talking to you, so you got to listen and get to the appropriate care.
DVT.
Yes, a deep vein thrombosis or blood clot. And in this situation, it's probably going to be in the calf, maybe behind the knee.
Right, behind the thigh
yeah.
sometimes.
And with that, you'll get this the swelling in the ankle, and in the calf. If you grab and squeeze it, it's going to be tender, painful. There's something called a Homan sign, although it's not real accurate
Right.
to help determine if there's a DVT. To find out if there's a DVT, you have to go get a scan, a
Right.
Doppler's scan, and confirm it.
This too can be life-threatening.
Yeah, it can, but again, see it early, and it's easily treatable with
And
some
you-
medication.
Well, you probably wonder, why is it life-threatening? Because a clot can let loose.
Mhm.
It can find its way up into the lung and suddenly compromise your breathing.
Right. Yeah,
So
and then
people have died from these.
sure, or it
Oh.
could break loose and eventually get to the brain and cause a stroke.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
not to mess with.
Yeah, and that's an easy one. You go in there, they'll check it out and find out pretty easily.
And we're back.
Hey, here we are. Hello, everyone else. I was just talking to the TikTok people, explaining, because we don't have what is it? They can't see it because some technical reason.
They're on our iPad.
Oh, they're on the iPad.
Anyway, so we're going to go over some basic exercise tips you can try. Some exercises you can do. Most of these you can do seated, laying down. You could do some of them standing if you want, but oftentimes if you have a lot of swelling in your foot or ankle, it may not feel as well to do them standing. Often with these, you can do them every 20 minutes if you want. If you're stuck at a computer or in a recliner, maybe you just don't move a lot, or maybe you're traveling in a car or on an airplane. Any of these are good just to get some blood flow and circulation going in your legs.
Right, and we'll even get into some compression socks that you can wear and how to use those later on in this section. So a real good basic exercise. Mike, you have to duck. Ducks, not. I don't like that.
Ducks and geese?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Ankle pumps. Let's go down here. Ankle pumps are simple. Anybody can do them. Shoes on or shoes off. Simply pull your ankle up.
Oh, sorry. I kicked your hand. It broke it.
That's all right. I'll go to the doctor later. Pull up like this as far as you can, so you feel a little stretch on the back of your calves, and then push down. But you have to watch out when you put your toes down, because if you do that really hard, some people may get cramps in the calf muscle, which is not fun. If you do, simply pull it back up right away, pull it this way. So do them just with moderate. You don't have to push real hard. There you go. Mike's got a good view here. You can do them in bed before you get out of bed. Do about 10 or 15 of them.
And you
Get
do
the
not
circu-
have to have your shoes on.
No, yeah, if you don't sleep with your shoes on. Some people do, but
So what this does is your calf muscle actually kind of works as a pump, and it helps promote fluid return going up the legs. So that's why these are very beneficial.
excellent point. Now let's go to the next one, is heel rises or
Calf raises.
calf raises. There's always some some controversy on what do you call it? Ankle pumps, heel
You're
pumps.
engaging your heels are raising off the ground, but you're engaging your calf muscles.
Yep.
So You can do these standing like Brad is. Hold on to something for support.
Yep.
If that is too challenging for you, you can do it in a seated position. Take a lot of the weight and pressure off of it. Just
There you
raise up
go.
like this. It's kind of a variation of the ankle pumps, but you have a little bit of resistance.
There you go. Yeah, this is one of those that while you're in an airplane or seated for a long period of time is a real nice one to do. And then after you get done with this one, of course, standing, there's more weight. So it's working your muscles a little more, doing a little more muscle contraction and pushing the fluid upward. You pull the toes up like this so you get the opposite muscle group working, the antagonist, which happens to be the anterior tib right here. Not a large muscle, but a very important muscle, and you want to keep the ankles moving.
Yeah, most people, if you get shin splints, it's usually your tibialis anterior that gets kind of swollen up. It's more for people that don't run much and start running a lot early on.
Yep. And as far as repetition, with most of these, 10 repetitions is a good place to start. If you want to do more, 10, probably not more than 20, and just do them every couple hours or so.
Another good option for the ankle and foot specifically are ankle circles. So you can do this in a long sitting position or lying down on your back, and you're just going to go clockwise for 10 repetitions. You can go 15. You can do a few sets of them if you want. And then once you do one direction, make sure to go there. Are you trying to kick me here?
Yeah, you can do it. Mike's doing them in one fashion. I'm doing them where they follow each other. It does not matter. Do whatever trips your trigger.
Yeah, you can. Can I go opposite with this? That's kind of, it feels weird. You can, I guess.
You could
It's just working different parts of your brain. I don't know if it's helping with your ankle swelling that much.
Well, if it breaks up the boredom of the exercise, that's good. I like to do this. It looks fun. I call them windshield wipers. They go work opposite. It's not working the ankle quite as much, but it's good.
So those all really focus on the foot and ankle more, but it is good to work on the rest of the leg muscles, because oftentimes if you have swelling distally in your foot and ankle, you need to get the swelling to go back up your leg. So we're going to start working some bigger muscle groups now. So the next one is just seated knee extensions or just kicks. So we want to be seated for this. You can be seated lower or higher, whatever platform you have to sit on. Just kick up, hold for a few seconds, and then come back down. You can certainly alternate legs. If you only have swelling on one leg, you can more focus on that leg. Some people, depending upon what caused their swelling, maybe bilateral if you just have circulation issues. It may be single if you had an injury on one leg. So just, you don't have to do both if you don't have swelling in both.
All right. Another option, if you want to do this and then do some ankle pumps while it's up, 3 or 4 or 5 of them, and then come back down. And that works the quads a little more. Plus you get the benefit of the ankle movement with the muscles involved with that.
The important thing with this is to actually hold it up. Some people just do little kicks like this and they're not doing very much. So try to get all the way up, hold it, come back down. If these become easy, you can certainly put a band around your ankle and tie it to something, or you can use a cuff weight. But that's not going to do a whole lot for the swelling. That's more of a strengthening aspect for things.
Yeah. I don't know if we've got any questions coming in or not.
We have questions coming in. We can get to some of them, or do you want to keep going?
Well,
we got more exercises to get through.
I'm going to walk in front of the camera, so excuse me.
Just do what I do. Sorry, I don't say excuse me. I just like walking in front of you.
I noticed.
So we'll answer some of these exercises. In doing these exercises, is it true slower is better? Yeah, typically, because muscles don't know repetitions, only your brain does. Muscles just know fatigue. So if you are going slower with it, they are activating for a longer period of time. So it's fine to go slow and controlled with all of these.
Yep, I agree 100%. In a chair like this, it is preferred a firm chair, upright chair with armrests. I would not. You can do these in a soft, cushy recliner, something that's in the living room where we're watching TV, but not as good. Better to be here. Scoot your bottom back in the chair so you have that good posture, because posture is always good for everything, even though we're not working posture on the legs. Keep the posture here good and do the exercise we just did.
A couple people say I hear snap, crackle, pop in my knees and goes pop, pop, pop.
Yep.
If there's noise, it's fine. If there's noise with pain, then you have a problem. But the noise itself is not an issue. Sometimes it's the joint just cracking, which, like when you crack your knuckles, it's just an air bubble within your joint. Sometimes it's more of a tendon rubbing over something. If you continuously do it and it always cracks, you may have some tight tendons causing that issue. If there's no pain with it, again, don't worry.
That's right. Yeah, that's very common for many people. So you're not alone with. Technically, it's called crepitus, which just means, like Mike said, popping a noise.
Someone says they have an ankle sprain, will be acute and chronic stage. We can giving the strengthening exercises as normal free range of motion. It is, sir, still possible. Sorry, there's some grammar reading issues there I'm having because they're probably typing fast. Ankle sprain during the acute phase. Yes, you just want to get it under control and not be as painful. Range of motion stuff is typically fine, not weight bearing. Over time, once you can tolerate, start doing some exercises and strengthening again. Any calf muscle stuff, tibialis anterior is all kind of fine. Some of the things we showed would work for that early on, like we were just doing. You could do standing ones once it doesn't hurt. Just make sure you go every which direction. If your ankle gets very stiff and painful and you've healed up, it doesn't hurt, but it just won't move, you may want to look into some more stretching or ankle mobilizations. We have lots of videos on that. I don't want to get into it on the swelling live now, but just something you can look into later on. So
Yeah, I did want to mention, we talked about the movement of the ankle. And if you do have your ankles are very stiff and have a little pain involved with movement, you may, if you can get your foot up like this, I call it the figure 4 position. You could do it with a shoe on. I think shoe off is a little better, but use your hand to help get the ankle moving. Once you get it moving, get through the crepitus if it's crepitus, and loosen it up, because oftentimes, particularly in the morning, after you get things moving, the pain gradually disappears and dissipates, and you're okay. So I like to go forward and backwards. That's our same thing as our ankle pumps. Then you can do circles, which we talked about circles, and doing them in this position. And once things get loosened up, then you can go down to doing them like this, or up and standing on them and using full weight bearing. So it's just a precursor, and can be very helpful for those people who have swelling, stiffness, and oftentimes it is getting up in the morning. You can maybe sit up in bed or on the edge of bed and do this before you get going. How was that, Mike?
that was good. Casey said she gets severe leg and ankle swelling when she is traveling.
Mhm.
Feet are on the floor too long without her compression socks. So yes, compression socks can help with that. Just some of these exercises we're showing, if you're stuck like on a train or bus or not driving, you can certainly do them just to move around, or just take frequent breaks.
Right.
Moving breaks, exercise, because a lot of this just gets circulation moving again. She's guessing it's worsening because of her varicose veins. You have varicose veins.
I do have varicose veins. I'm not going to show them right now, but I've shown them many times. It's not, they're not the most beautiful things in the world. My mom had pretty bad ones. She had them fixed. You can get them fixed. I believe my insurance doesn't cover it unless they're symptomatic. Mine are completely pain-free. I can do anything I want. So I'm going to leave them until my wife says I should get that done. But anyways, typically the procedure is not real invasive. That's for another video though.
We're going to get into some other tips later on that are not exercise based too, because some people do have questions about swelling that's not going away with these issues.
Okay.
Next is leg pumps. You going to do this one? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, this one can be done in bed or on the floor, whichever, and it really doesn't matter. So in bed, I would certainly do it because it's right there. So before you get out of bed in the morning, I would definitely do some ankle pumps like we demonstrated already. Now the leg pumps, I'm going to call them the bicycles. It depends on how strong you are. Both knees up, start in this position. Now just elevating my leg like this, the gravity all automatically wants to pull that fluid down. And then if you can do some pumps or circles up there, you got gravity plus muscle contraction like that. Okay. Now you're not going to be able to do probably won't be doing both at the same time. So do one leg, do 10, 20 ankle circles or pumps, then do the other one. And you're working strengthening of your quads and your hip flexors as well with this. So you're getting more. It's a multi-purpose exercise. And depending on your level, a lot of people will not be able to do this, but it's a good core and leg and fluid coming proximal towards the trunk. And that's if you can do this bicycling up, the supine bicycling, we call it. What do you call this, Mike?
A bicycle.
Yeah. So again, this is only for certain people who have that ability. Don't worry, you can simply do it with one leg, do your ankle pumps like I had mentioned. So again, that can all be done before you get out of bed. If you want to massage your feet, do this. You won't have a shoe on in bed probably, and you can start stretching your ankle out just as I demonstrated in the chair. Same thing, and again, it's going to be up to you and your ability.
The next one are legs up the wall. So if your bed is close in a corner and you can touch a wall, you can certainly do it in bed if you struggle getting to the floor. If you're okay going to the floor, you can do this there as well. You just need a wall for support. And Brad will demonstrate this here.
Yeah, this one, shoes on, shoes off, whatever you're comfortable with. If you can't get to the floor, that's fine. In the bed, if your bed is up to the wall, you could do this. You're going to get close enough to the wall. And this is simply using gravity again and putting your feet up here. It's a pretty, the gravity's got a lot of pull when you're up this high, and you can just sit here and relax. It's just a matter of
it's a nice hamstring stretch too.
Exactly. If I get a little closer, my hamstrings, these muscles start to stretch. You don't have to have an aggressive stretch, just a gentle stretch. And then pump your ankles like this, maybe 1 foot at a time. The other, you can work back and forth like this. Anything to get some motion in there. And you'll do this for a minute or two, whatever you're comfortable with. Certainly not 5 or 10 minutes, but 1 or 2 minutes is going to be good. And you can do this now if you got socks on and you got a wall that's a little bit slippery. Obviously, some of those walls have texture and that wouldn't work. But it's, then you can do this and get your quads and hamstrings and knee motion going, because those are probably a little stiff too if you have swelling in your ankles, and work that. So the wall can really be your friend when it comes to leg exercises and elevation for proximal blood flow and lymph flow. Oh, that's kind of a nice one, right?
That is a nice one. The next one is walking or low impact cardio. So just moving around and exercise helps with swelling, even edema to a point. Just moving. Now, depending upon your issues or functionality, if walking isn't a good option, you can certainly bike. You can use a stationary bike. You can use some weird little, not weird, I guess they're handy. So you can use like a little seated elliptical like thing too.
Yeah.
But a lot of these are just going to get continuous motion. It's just nonstop ankle pumps. You're going to get a little bit of strengthening as well. If you turn up resistance, a normal bike is fine too.
We've used these extensively in the clinic when we have people after a surgery or people with general weakness having a hard time walking. This can be a really nice way in a comfortable position, smooth, getting motion, like you said, in the ankles and the knees, good blood flow. And you can do this for a much longer period of time once you get used to it. I've had people on there for 15 minutes after they get used to it and they know they can tolerate it without soreness afterwards.
Yeah, so anything like this is handy. This isn't really this is just a prototype. We don't there's no brand name on this one. There's lots of them online you can check out. But actually, I think on the Crew channel we did a extensive review on a few of them, so you can check that out.
The K1000, I believe, was the model number. And I don't remember the company that made it, but we used them a lot.
Something In Motion.
Yeah.
In Motion was on there, I remember.
Right, and I to be honest with you, I'm not sure if they make that exact same one anymore, but you will see a number of these easily that you can buy. There's no real big difference between them.
Yeah. The last main one for exercise tips is ankle alphabet. So.
Oh yeah, this one I've used a lot with people recovering from an ankle injury, that the ankle is stiff, maybe swollen, and you need to get the motion back and regain so you can start walking again.
Now you can do this seated or lying on your back. You're just going to draw the alphabet. You can pick if it's lowercase, capital, cursive, it doesn't matter. You're just getting lots of different little motions. So you're just going to write the alphabet. So if I was doing capital, you would just do an A, then you would do a B, then C. Just notice you're going to get every little motion with this, and it's just a different way to do it without getting too bored with repetitious. I'm talking, so now I forgot what letter I'm on. I think I'm on H. But anyway, yeah, you just write out the whole alphabet. You can do it a couple times if you want. Just loosens up your ankles and get some circulation blood flow in there.
And Chelsea is again helping us out tremendously. She did put
Stamina in Motion Compact Strider.
Right, that's
it's
the
called.
device that is one that we like, and
We
she
used
put that
to
on
use them.
Facebook as well as our Bob and Brad channel. So thank you, Chelsea, for helping us out. With the alphabet one, one thing that I've always worked with people, I would say, I wasn't listening because I was reading, but imagine there's a piece of chalk on the end of your toe. I'm a very visual person, and pretend that there's a chalkboard in front of you and you're going to make the letter A. So you go up and down and make the cross. That's A. Then B, down, and then one bump over and the next bump over. So it gives you something to think about while you're doing it. And then you'll find by the time, if you're just getting started, maybe by the time you get to C or D, your ankle's getting fatigued or painful. Then you stop, but you can remember maybe in 3 more days, you already got to the letter M and N before you get fatigued. So you have a good visual on how to get the motion in all ranges, and how far or the volume, which gives you an indication of your improvement.
Kids nowadays can just put their iPad on the floor and open a drawing app and draw with their toes
on it.
So.
No, we'll have none of that.
Technology, dang it. Anyway, those are the basic 10 exercises, more focusing on ankle and foot swelling. The next 10 tips are different strategies that do not involve exercise. So,
right. Should we talk about the massage one first?
Yeah.
Okay.
You talk about massage. Are you going to do specifically lymph massage, or what do you?
No, I don't want to get into lymph massage too much in this video.
We do have videos on that if you want to check out specifically lymphatic massage.
Right. So lymph is when you have swelling that's chronic. It's all the time. There's no real pain with it. There's no color discoloration. It's your lymph system, lymphedema. The lymph is actually pooling down here for some reason, and it's not coming up. There's a specific massage that you need to actually start on your stomach, go to your legs, and down into your ankle. We don't have time for that on this video because to do it right, it's going to take probably 15 minutes. We do have videos on that, and Bob and Brad. So let's just talk about a general massage to the foot. And I would do it with your sock off. You can do it with the sock on, but maybe I should put the sock back on. Look, it's not a pretty foot. But simply just getting it moving, like I mentioned before. I like to start with the toes, extend them backwards, bend them forward. And then I like to get things moving in the joints in the forefoot here. A lot of people don't realize all those are joints between each knuckle of the toe, if you will. Get those moving. And then if you want to do a gentle massage, go from the toes and come this direction to help get the fluid moving this direction. You're not going to do this a long period of time, maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and work the massage. It should feel good. If it's not feeling good, if it's painful, you have to, and there's no redness or no heat, it might be something you want to check with the doctor. But typically, the more you do it, it should feel better as the fluid gets moving. Everything's moving and getting worse.
Better?
Yeah, that's what I meant. And I actually grabbed my the heel or calcaneus, and I like to get that moving a little bit too. There's so many joints in the foot, and they all want to be moved. Stuffed in a shoe all day long, they do not get enough motion.
Yeah, sometimes just strengthening your feet, being barefoot or in your socks or slippers at home can be beneficial too. Just gets a little bit of strengthening and more movement in your foot itself. It feels comfortable.
You know what we forgot?
What?
The ziggy zaggies.
The ziggy zaggies.
Yeah, the exercise. Maybe we'll get back to that
one?
later. It's not a real critical one, but it's a nice, cute one, anyways.
So after that, some other options of things you can try, since Brad has a sock off, are actually using some sort of compression socks. They're pretty popular nowadays. There's lots of companies and brands that make them. Most of them are 20 to 30 millimeters of mercury compression, and it gets less as it goes up the calf. So there's more in the toes, and then as they work their way up, there's less. There are different companies that have different types. There are medical grade ones, which are different. You need to go to your doctor to get assessed for those and measured correctly. But these are just generic ones. There's lots of companies. These are hollow.
Yeah.
They're alpaca.
Yeah. So it's just a different material. Again, for circulation, the compression is really important. Again, around the toes on the foot. Typically, a standard one is going to be 20 millimeters of mercury. That's how they measure it, or 15, I should say. And then up around the calf, no, higher down in the foot, lower in the calf. So 20 down here, 15 up here. And look it up. They will have the specs.
Yep. These ones are 15 to 20 initially.
Yep, there you go. And that's pretty good for most people. If you see a doctor, they will give you recommendations on that. You don't want them too tight. You don't want them too loose. But again, the lowest one you're pretty safe with unless you've got some problems. And if you do, you should see the doctor.
I would say make sure to read the label too about drying them. I air dry mine whenever I wear them. Yep. I never put mine in the dryer. But they can be a little challenging to put on.
Yeah.
So if you're younger and you can get them on, that's fine.
Do you have ankle swelling?
I don't have ankle swelling. I wear more for muscle soreness or fatigue to take pressure off the calf muscles themselves after doing some long distance running.
Okay.
Type things. That's when I normally wear them. It's just like a fatigue thing and to give them some support because it does allow your calf muscles to relax a little bit as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to demonstrate. And if you haven't, when I had my parents wear these, this is an issue.
Getting them on.
Yeah, like this. And actually, they just said, we're not doing it. It's too hard. So they just didn't use them.
Especially medical grade ones.
Yeah, yeah. And
they're really challenging.
There is some real nice options I've got. There's this
sock aid.
This thing called a sock aid. And I just talked to an occupational therapist yesterday, and she agreed with me. I don't like these that much because they don't always work really well. You can try it. You go like this and
slip it on.
Slip it on and then put your foot in there and it goes like that. Now you can make them work, and I don't know how.
You have to go slower than that and take your time and kind of finagle it. But yeah, it's the process.
Once I found this device,
so there's a sock aid as well.
Yep. I don't even think about that other one. But don't get me wrong, that might be something that people like or a therapist would like. But this one, you go like this. You get the heel facing you, get this cup going in. And we have a video specifically on this. And we're going to go like this. This is actually a little bit, the hardest thing is right here. Once you get the sock over and you push it down.
Sliding it on.
Yep. All the way till the toe.
Yeah.
Yep. Simply put your toe in the toe, go like this, and there we go.
Simply put your toe in the toe.
Yep, there. See?
Wow.
And it's
beautiful.
Wonderful. Yep. Usually I don't like to go over the knee. I like to keep it under.
That one's actually a larger one than Brad and I need. That's why that one goes so
Now,
long.
watch this. This is really important. Can you zoom in on this, Tanner? What'll happen with these socks is sometimes they will roll down like this.
Especially if they're too long.
Yeah.
Or too big.
And they get tight. Right now, I can feel there is like a tourniquet, literally a tourniquet around here. So the swelling and circulation is blocked by that. So that is something you do not want to have. You want to avoid that. So bring it all the way up, or in this case, I would just get the proper size socks so they end up here. But even if they're right here below the knee, they can still tourniquet. Oftentimes they won't. I found, do yours tourniquet much, Mike?
No, mine stay pretty well. Okay. I haven't had any issues.
And yours come up just below the knee, right?
Yeah, mine are just below the knee.
Yeah.
That one you have on right now is a size too big for
this is how I would do this one if they're long. I would make a wide area here so it doesn't get that rolled up tourniquet effect. And then that would be the next best thing. The best thing is get the right length of sock. You want to talk about Tubigrip?
Some other compression options, is Tubigrip. So this is what I'm holding here. Oftentimes with this, you need to measure your foot and get the diameter, or your foot, wherever you're swollen, and then you slide it on. People can use this on their arms or their legs. It doesn't really matter. But you put it on. You just kind of slide it up. It's going to have a hole on the end, so it doesn't always work the best for feet specifically.
That's why they call it Tubigrip. It's actually a tube.
So you would slide it on like this. If it was my foot and ankle, you could do it here. Some of them they cut up longer. They come in long tubes normally. I think you can order some pre-cut, but you would have to read the measurements and make sure it's long enough for you. But this is something we often use in the clinic after like a surgery, whether it's a knee replacement or something with their foot or ankle, and they just have some swelling. It often helps them quite a bit to wear these for a while. You can wash them, and they're pretty, inexpensive.
Yeah. This is actually from my mother because she did not tolerate these. I had mentioned.
I mean, a whole roll is expensive, but individual ones aren't too pricey.
Well, actually, that's not true.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's an
I
expensive
thought
tube?
exactly the same thing. If you buy it by like a 2-foot piece,
Yeah.
it'll be so much. But like in so many things, if you buy the bulk,
Yeah.
it costs more. This is 10 yards, but it was quite a bit cheaper if I bought the whole box.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to use that much.
Yeah.
If you only need it temporarily,
Exactly.
the
So
individual ones, but if you need a long-term,
Yeah.
box, it makes sense.
my mother needed hers long term. So when they got too dirty, you only can wash them so many times. Throw it away, take your box out, pull out the new one. But Mike is exactly right. If you're going to wear them for a couple weeks or whatever, buy it by the foot. And you can buy it. I don't know. I didn't look online how to buy it by the foot, so I didn't worry about it because I didn't need it.
Yeah, some of them are just pre-cut and they just sell
Okay.
them packaged. It
Yep.
just depends on where you get them from, but that's another option that you can use.
And we do have a video, Bob and Brad. It's entitled Tubigrip. Maybe Chelsea can look it up. And we focus on this. We get in more detail on how to measure your leg when you order online. If you go to a brick and mortar store and they have some salespeople that are knowledgeable, they should be able to help you out and know exactly what you need. Should be no problem. If they don't know, then maybe don't go there.
Where can I purchase these? I don't know if you were asking about the compression or the compression socks or the Tubigrip. Most compression socks or Tubigrip you can find on Amazon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just the socks that we had specifically here were called Hollow, HOLLOW. They just sent us these to try out recently, and
Yeah, we have no affiliation with them. They seem to be a nice sock. They're made out of the alpaca
a little
material.
warmer, I would say.
Yeah.
Because
So,
but
but there are other ones that are very good. So you'll have to do the reviews
I have
on them.
some just from Target that work fine
Well,
as well. But those are they're not alpaca. Those are a little fancier.
there was some smooth toe, and actually I went to the place at the supplier and talked to the supplier about that, and they seem to have a really good handle on socks. I'm not sure how their prices compare, but there's smooth toe, because if you look at this one, there is actually a little seam in the toe. If you have diabetes, you do not want to have these seams in there, because that could cause a skin irritation resulting in a skin problem. So sorry, Hollow, I would not buy these if I had diabetes and I wanted to have that. So I'd get the smooth toe ones, and that's why they market smooth toe as their smooth toe. There is no seam there. Very good. Enough of that.
Some people. Oh, someone said Cynthia said she wore Tubigrip package on Amazon after her hip replacement, and it was a lifesaver. So that's good.
So it's a good way to work it. The only thing about the Tubigrip, it doesn't have variable compression. It's the same compression all the way, with the exception it actually is a little more compression around the calf, because the circumference is actually larger there, so you don't get that benefit, but they in general work fairly well.
DJ Knight said they had multiple knee surgeries and now a total knee. Well, yeah, typically if you have a lot of knee surgeries, eventually you're due for a total knee. All in the same knee, yikes. Well, yeah, you might have some swelling in that leg. It's pretty common after knee replacements to have quite a bit of swelling for a while. I think people realize how involved that procedure is before they get it done.
What's that?
A knee replacement.
Oh, yeah.
When they come back, like, I didn't realize how involved it was. I was like, how did they explain it to you? Because it's quite involved.
Yeah.
They remove a whole parts of your bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually watch some videos on that on YouTube.
They're graphic.
Yeah.
I'm warning you.
I watched one in real life.
There's
at a
tools.
surgery. It wasn't it was interesting, but yeah, you got to have a stomach for it. But now you don't even have to stay overnight in some cases. Maybe one night. It used to be 3 nights.
Oh, they're in and out the same day now.
Yeah, it's amazing how good they are getting at it.
Where do you get that contraption that you use to put the sock on?
I think
we got that one from a local hospital area, but I think you could find them on Amazon.
I thought I saw Chelsea put a link to it on there.
That's the compression socks. Those are videos.
Yeah,
well, maybe we can link it for you.
If you look up on Amazon, Sockade,
Cage, or like,
they'll have pictures, and there are ones that look like this. Okay, the ones I personally am not real happy with, and then you'll see a number of them that look like this or look like a framework of metal, and those are the ones. I'm sorry we don't have that name.
Yeah, same day discharge. Then PT started 3 days later. Oh, I've done PT the same day, or well, not the same, the next day normally.
Yep.
Yeah. Some more tips on swelling in the ankles and feet is just elevation and ice packs. So obviously cooling usually feels pretty good, especially if you're swollen. I'd say this is more for an acute injury most of the time. I've had numerous ankle injuries over the years, had lots of swelling or pain and discomfort. Oftentimes elevating really helped. Compression socks helped. And ice, you can just use a cold gel pack, which I do a chunk of the time. Sometimes I would actually do like a whole little ice tub just for my foot, or like a large bucket, put ice and water in it and just soak it for 20 minutes. That usually felt really good for me personally. I'm glad you're crawling. But just put it on. Normally it gets a little bit too chilly without something in between your skin and the gel pack. This would be one you just leave in the freezer. So maybe a thin towel, a pillow case, or if you just have your clothes on, that'd be fine, or your sock. But as far as like the ice bucket, you have to submerge your foot. That gets pretty chilly. Not gonna lie, it usually take me about 5 minutes till my foot kind of became numb and it felt good. It was kind of it's a little brisk and painful early on with the ice buckets, but it's just a good option. Just still using some ice.
Yeah. Now, as far as this leg wedge he's using, is really nice. It's comfortable, elevates appropriately. But if you just don't need one for a long period of time, you just got an injury, you're going to use it for a few days or a week or so, you can just simply take 2-3 pillows and put the pillows underneath, and that works fairly well. Elevates are comfortable. You can see it doesn't elevate as much as 2 pillows. Probably another one, depending on your thickness of your pillows.
Most people, from my experience, they say, yeah, I'm elevating, and they're laying flat in bed or they're laying in a recliner, and there's nothing underneath their feet. Right now, my foot is barely above my heart.
Right.
If I'm up here, I'm way above my heart. So this is what we mean above the heart. So my heart is here, and then it's up higher than that. Some people think it's like you're literally lifting. We're not talking about that high. We just mean it can't be on the same plane surface. It has to be up a little bit for the swelling to come back up this way.
That's right. Good point, Mike.
So think of it as like a
slide, and you slide down.
Yeah, a water slide. Anyway,
yeah, it's a swelling slide.
A swelling slide. Some other options for this. We talked about massage. Now there are other things you can use. You can use a ball as an example of something inexpensive and you have at home. This is one from the dollar store. This is a softball. That's a tennis ball. This can just kind of massage and mobilize some of the smaller intrinsic foot muscles around. You can just put it on the ground, and then the more force you put into your foot, the more aggressive it's going to be. If I'm standing, it's a lot more aggressive than if I'm sitting and just putting a little bit of weight through it. Again, a tennis ball is going to be a lot less aggressive and feel better. Boy, this is kind of hard to do with your socks on. It's too slippery. So you probably want to go barefoot. Oh, and now I grip pretty well. So you can do this. They make little massage balls as well. you can find in places too.
You could just simply use a golf ball.
Yeah.
They're a little aggressive. Then that can be helpful for plantar fasciitis as well. Denise, you asked a question about varicose veins. Can they cause swelling? They can help contribute to it. In that situation, you should see a doctor to find out the severity of your varicose veins and if they're should be addressed aggressively, or you can do some of these techniques. I would definitely check with your doctor first and confirm why that swelling is there, if it's associated with varicose veins. Good question.
Diane says she still has swelling under my right knee 2 years later. What is the best treatment for me? Well, I would make sure to get checked out and see if it's like some sort of lymphatic issue with your lymph nodes themselves, or if it's something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of history there that we don't know. And actually, if it's warm, is it tender? A lot of little details that you really need to know to make some confident assessment and recommendations.
Lori says she uses a small bottle of water to roll on. Yeah, you can even freeze it too and have ice bottle to roll on. So you can do
that works very good.
Yeah, you can just take an old water bottle and freeze it up, like one you'd get from the gas station. You don't need to use a nice
water bottle. Yeah, water bottle. And then you can drink the water first. If it's a pop bottle, you have to open up, pour the pop out, and then fill it up with water. You don't want to be drinking that stuff. What are you? I
was just reading a question.
Oh, I thought you had
harder to answer.
Stagnant brain or something.
So this is the one that the ball I'm actually using now is one we sell at Walmart. So it's actually vibrating and it has little nodules that kind of do some nice myofascial release on the bottom of your foot. So that's also an option. The pack at Walmart comes in 2 different colors. It's a 2-pack. They also sell cork balls, which are a little less expensive, but there's no vibrating component to them or nodules. So it's more of a smooth ball. But those can work as well. You can find them online or in your store. If it's not in your store, you're not sure, you can just find the store locator on our website, hiphopandbrad.com. Some other options, a foot massage is an actual foot massager, which is over by Brad there. We have a couple models. That's the light foot massager. It's a little smaller. Brad muted himself.
Sorry about that. That was a mic problem.
So
not
me.
This mic.
Yeah, I'm perfect. Anyway.
Yeah.
You just put that on the ground. You put your feet in it. You would have it plugged in. Brad has it unplugged.
You want me to plug it in?
If you want, you can.
Well, it looks pretty much the same whether it's plugged in or not, but it feels a lot different when it's plugged in.
Much. Hope so.
Yeah, you'll be in there a long. You can do it with your socks on.
Yeah,
socks
and you can adjust
off.
the massage mode, the intensity. It actually has little rollers on the bottom of your feet, and then it has some air compression bladders up top.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a heat function as well.
Yeah, and you can control it with the buttons right here on the device, or there's a remote, so you don't have to bend over. Some people, may have problems with that, so that's a convenience.
Fits up to a size 12 men's foot,
yep.
So it fits most feet. Obviously, if you have a really large foot, it might not fit, but they're really handy, especially if your feet are really sore and achy.
And if you like the foot massage with your hands, but your fingers or thumbs get tired and sore, they don't when you use this. Your hands feel pretty good, actually. But that heats up, it massages the bottom. There's rollers that knead the bottom of your foot, not N-E-E-D. It's K-N-E-E-D, like when you knead bread. You know what I'm talking about?
I was reading a comment, but I can't answer that comment.
Yeah,
either.
So it is a nice foot massager, and works well. It turns off in 15 minutes if you fall asleep while it's going there, because you don't want it on there for hours, of course. So I'm going to turn it off, and the decompression goes, and now I can pull my feet out.
A couple other general tips, but more or less your physician would tell you this, is looking at how hydrated you are. Some people are dehydrated. Some people are drinking too much fluid and retaining too much, so they actually have to be on a liquid restriction. Obviously, your physician is going to tell you about that. And sodium intake can have a big effect on your swelling as well. Often, most processed foods have a lot of sodium too, so it may not even be salting your food. It may just be the foods you are choosing. So, I mean, we're not nutritionists, but looking at your diet, I believe diet plays a huge role in swelling, edema, inflammation, how your body just generally feels. Because personally, I'm not that old, and if I eat crappy, I feel it in my joints and body the next day. So,
And he's only 21.
yeah, barely 21, bald at 21. Dang.
I'm going to walk through here just for a second because I do want to do one point. We've got a family member that is having swelling with her feet right now, and she has a chair. She had a chair that was a low seat. It kind of put her knees up this way, and she would just sit there like this. So her posture was poor as a result of this poor chair, and she's in her 70s, and her feet were swelling. So we simply got rid of that chair, got her a nice firm recliner that offered good posture, not a soft one that you sink in and splooge out into poor posture. And then she simply raises her legs with the recliner. Even though it's not above heart level, it's much better to have them raised up like this. For example, you might have an Ottoman, or is it Autobahn? The stool that goes out in front of you. And some chairs actually come with a match, and they look well and they work well. This is still much better than having your feet down where they're actually dependent. That fluid just drops down to your feet. This is better. Again, lying down with your feet up, like we mentioned earlier, is even better. But this is a great way to keep things neutral throughout the day, and it's typically more comfortable. You just need to be careful that on some of the recliners, there's a big air gap in here. And sometimes it actually, if your feet hang over and it's not soft and chamfered here or radius. Chamfered.
Wow, fancy.
That's a 45-degree.
He likes building stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. If you're into woodworking, you know what I'm talking about. But you don't want to have a crease or a sharp edge that's putting pressure, because that's going to decrease blood flow and circulation. So nice, smooth. Oftentimes, if you have one that has the gap or whatever, just simply put a pillow there. It feels better. And you may want to do that either way, because boy, that does feel a lot better. So don't be afraid of using pillows.
Another option is just taking intermittent movement breaks. So if you sit a lot, just set a timer for every 20 to 30 minutes, get up, move a little bit. You don't have to go on a mile hike or anything. Just go to the bathroom, get some water out of the sink, whatever you want to do. Maybe refrigerate it and get it from the refrigerator.
Right. Some people, I'd always say, if some people have
commercial breaks, get up and move around.
Yeah. I would say do a lap. Some people have a wall or like around the kitchen table or someplace where you can actually go out and do down the hallway and back. That would be one lap, and do one or two of those and actually count. So you have a very definite program that you're on that can be real helpful for some people.
Zero, the reviewer, said, great. What is a great idea for self DIY foot massage? Well, if you missed the part where we talked about the softball or the golf ball rolling on your feet, you can rewind the video and show it. But just using a ball on the ground to roll on can work very well. If you don't want to purchase anything, because most people will have some sort of little device. Otherwise, they're pretty inexpensive massage balls you can find at the store nowadays. Don't want to have a sock on it, glides too much.
Yeah.
But
again, if we look here, I'll give you a quick review. Working the toes forward and backwards.
Ooh, I hear cracking.
Yep. Did you hear them feet crepitus? And that's a good thing if it's not painful, especially work. Now, again, the fingers can get sore. If you happen to have a massage gun, the bottom of the feet can be a really good place to do it. I would use the ball head or an airhead. Some don't have airheads. That means
don't call us airheads.
Yeah. All the Bob and Brad massage guns come with an airhead and a round head plus more. But I like doing this. I would do it with a small one. Can you grab a big one? That or bigger is too big. One that you can easily fit in your hand, especially for older people. You don't need it to be real aggressive, but this can feel good. If you have the ball head, turn it sideways, and it's not very aggressive at all.
So you said if you have a bald head for a minute, talk about me.
Yeah, well,
ball head.
Yeah, ball head on your massage gun. There we go.
The C2 kind of works. I mean, I have a size 11 foot, so it's
but you're not 80 years old and have a
Are you sure?
arthritic foot.
That's right. I'm 21. Yeah, it might be a little too powerful.
Yeah, but you're right. For younger people, or you have a good solid foot that's not arthritic. Yeah, the bigger ones, probably not that real big one, but yeah, good point.
It's also important to look at other musculature. You're not going to massage the top of your foot. There's not enough padding or musculature there. It's going to kind of hurt and not feel very good. So you're just going to work on the bottom. You can do the heel, the inside, outside area. You can work up to the bottom of your toes. You can kind of get on the toes a little bit, the arches, but you also want to work the calf muscles. You can do the Achilles tendon region. You can get into the calf itself and work that area, because a lot of times if this is tight, it can have a big effect on your foot too. You're not going to work the front muscles too much either, because your tibia is really prominent there and it's not going to feel very good. So with massage guns, just make sure to stick to the muscle bound areas.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. I'm glad you brought up a point about the calf muscle, because it is critical that muscle stay loose. Again, this should not create pain. If you hit a tight spot that really hurts, avoid it and just go where it does not hurt and feels good.
Can you use that with drop foot? Yeah, you can use any of this stuff with drop foot. Drop foot is just you can't engage your front shin muscle well enough to lift up when you're walking. So you normally have to have some type of brace to help swing your foot through. But any of the stuff is fine as long as you have decent sensation in your foot still.
Yeah, we do have a few videos specifically on drop foot, and you go Bob and Brad in YouTube and go drop foot, and those will come up, and they show exercises and some other alternatives to help you out with that. So we'd need about 15 more minutes and could focus on that, which we don't have.
Barb says, my Fitbit tells me if I haven't gotten 250 steps in an hour, so then I get up and walk around the house. See, good tip.
That's a nice tool to have.
Good idea, Barb. Yeah, my watch likes to let me know when I'm lazy too. It says, you haven't burned enough calories today. I'm like, thank you, watch. That was rude. But
my wife does that for me. She doesn't really. I mean, a little bit. Yeah, she's. We work together well.
There's a few more questions coming in. We'll be live for a few more minutes. Does this help with muscle cramping? It kind of depends what's causing your cramping. Sometimes it's due to muscle tightness, so massaging and stretching can help and strengthening. Sometimes it's electrolyte imbalance, so it kind of depends upon what is your issue. But some of these things can help. You can just try them out. Atrophy with it getting spasticity. Oh, so PB probably that's the one with a drop foot. I'm guessing, did you have a stroke or something, PB, by the sounds of it? Have atrophy and getting spasticity in
there's a lot of things that could cause that. It's hard to give some confident information with not enough information.
Yeah, it's kind of hard too, because some of them get the spasms. What do you call that? Clonus? No. What's the?
Yeah, that's clonus.
Yeah,
where
clonus
you
is a little. I actually got a stroke person right now I've been working with and has that. So yeah, I mean, just doing what you can. It's still important to have stretching your calf out and ranging motion your ankle. Either have someone else do it, or if there's some way you can do it with your other foot. I obviously don't know your limitations, but I always try to range my one guy's ankle out at least to keep some elasticity in there.
Yeah. Again, I would go to our YouTube and see Bob and Brad ankle stretching, and then we can go through a number of them in detail that would really help you out, I think, for ideas.
Boy, there's a lot of questions.
Well, we appreciate everyone tuning in and getting questions. Unfortunately, it's just impossible to get all of your questions answered.
How many hours should you wear compression stockings or socks? If you're new to them, just try them out slowly and make sure you're okay with them. They're not causing any pain. So maybe like
half a day.
Yeah, or a few hours and then take them off. If you're fine, like I'll wear them all day long. I mean, I don't wear them when I'm sleeping, but I'll just wear them when I'm wearing socks.
Yeah.
And they're fine. There's no real rules otherwise. Just make sure it's not causing any issues.
Yeah, they can't be tourniqueting. You always have to monitor that tourniqueting thing we went through. I wore a pair in an airplane to Alaska, and they were a little snug and they weren't comfortable. by the last half hour of the plane ride. So I did not wear them on the way back because the fit wasn't proper.
Yeah. So we'll be live again next week at 10 a.m. Central Time, and we are talking about what again? Oh, if you can't put on your shoes, your socks, or your pants easily, we'll give you some tips.
Yeah, a number of different exercises that are going to help you out, and then some other options that we covered today a little bit to make life easier, so that you can get through that little chore of the day without saying bad words when you.
However, we are not going to tell you what to wear because, as you can tell, we are not good with fashion tips.
That's right. My wife lets me know about that too. Why don't she get? She got this shirt, so I've been wearing this for about 3 months now. I don't know.
He switched up his
I like
attire.
the way it looks.
You're ready for Halloween with
Yeah.
that attire. You got orange and black on.
There you go. Anyways, we appreciate everyone watching. Hope you learned a few tips that were helpful for you. And again,
remember, our pre-order is only good for a few more days on the massage
pre-order on what?
chair. On the massage
yeah.
chair. So if you are serious about getting one, it's $500 off. So if you're not, then you could pay full price later, I guess. Okay.
Well, life has always got its ups and downs, doesn't it, Mike?
Yes, it does.
All right. Very good. Enjoy the day.